Okay, this is the part of chapter 2 that we tested that you could use a calculator that we took, and you guys said, oh, I wish you would have showed me how to do this stuff before we took the non-calculator portion. Remember all of these problems that you did, and all of them were solved with the graphing calculator. Okay, so for question number 1, it says, determine graphically the number of solutions there are. So this is on your test, on the exam. Now, what if this problem were written like 3x to the 5th minus 15x equals -5. And I said, solve it or tell me how many solutions. What would you do? What would you do? Bring the -5 where? To the other side. So you want to, on all of these, you want to get everything to one side. Okay, then what? Then what do you do? Type it in your calculator. Now it's up to you which calculator you use. I don't care if you use the Inspire or the 83 or 84. So go ahead and type that in your calculator and tell me the number of solutions you get. What you're looking for,
Was it 85 or plus 5?
well, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Because I did the plus 5. This bunch of plus 5.
You tell me.
1 is what I got.
Tell me, which one is it? If it's -5 on the right side, what is it on the right side?
On the left side?
On the left side,
It's positive plus 5.
yes. When you move something over, you change the sign. So those two equations are the same thing.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, so. So 3x raised to the 5th power minus 15x plus 5. Okay, now this question is simply, which is going to be on your exam, it says, how many solutions are there? How many times is this thing hitting the x-axis? 3. There's 3 solutions. Now, if I asked you what the solutions are, do you remember how we did it?
No.
Menu, analyze, graph. This is where we hit and we figured out what the zeros were. Okay? So this one, there were 3 zeros. Now, the next set of problems are asking you to find the zeros. Do you remember the difference between number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6? Do you remember specifically? Some of these are on your exam. Number 2 and number 3 are different. See if you recall the difference. Anyone remember how to type them in your calculator? Anyone remember the difference? If you type in number 2, you're going to get something goofy. Yes.
For number 2, don't you type in what's underneath?
Good job. Yep. Number 2, since it's only one radical, it will not hit the x-axis. So for number 2, just type what's underneath it. Just set underneath it equal to 0. And find your zeros. You should get, I believe, -0.12 and 2.01. But number 3, how you type this in your calculator, you type it in like this. You're gonna type in the square root of x cubed plus 2, then minus 5, then plus the square root of x plus 5. Then hit enter and see where the graph hits the x-axis. Those, analyze, hit menu, analyze graph, and that is where your graph, those are your solutions. And I believe the answer is 1.58. Yes, dear?
Can I talk to Connor for a second?
Sure.
What did you want
Number 4 is on your test. There was a typo in this one. It looks like equals 0 is missing on that one. Okay. Number 4 is on your test. How do you solve that one? If you have a fraction set equal to 0, how do you solve that? You set the numerator. You just set the numerator equal to 0. Okay, so you have x to the 5th minus 5x to the 2nd plus 1. How many answers are there?
2, 3.
There's 3. How are you gonna find them?
Menu, analyze graph, 0.
Menu, analyze graph, 0, and then menu, analyze graph, 0. Okay. No 0 found. Why is it not finding my 0?
What's that? You're doing this all wrong.
Why?
Because you gotta get, which 0 are you trying to get?
One of them. Cannot accept change in valid input.
That's odd.
The 3 zeros are negative 0.44,
Negative alright.
0.45, 1.67.
Can we move your paper over? Like your paper? Over? That-
Did anyone get it?
So do you have the finish for all these?
I'm giving it to you.
But that's a whole, you have a whole packet of all these.
You gotta get it on YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna graph it with the 83. For some reason, I think my calculator is not working. So we've got x to the 5th minus 5x raised to the 2nd plus 1. Hit graph. Okay. Second, calc, 0. enter, 0, enter, enter, and there's one of your zeros, negative 0.44.
I never got how to use those calculators.
Now, on this next one, so you have to just keep doing that process, or do menu. If you're doing the Inspires, do menu. Did anyone use the Inspire? Did you get it? I don't know why mine's not working, but, menu, analyze graph, and then you click on the 0, it should highlight it, and then just click over that intersection, and the 0 will pop right up. This next one, make sure you know how to do that.
Don't you bring everything up to one side, but if you divide or multiply,
Yep.
you change the sign?
Yep, let's try this one, let's see how this one works. Okay, new graph. Okay, so we've got, how do you type in the absolute value? You go to that little icon, and right below it, there's your absolute value. So you've got x, I believe that's to the 3rd power, and then plus 2x minus 4, and then get out of your absolute value, and then minus 5, and hit enter. Okay, now what you have here is this picture. It looks like a kind of a funny V. Doesn't it? I don't know, something
see
funny
it.
like that. What your job is to figure out what these 2 points are. So go to menu, let's try it again, analyze graph. We want to find the 0. Why is this thing keep saying no 0 found? Something's wrong with this calculator.
You
You
just
guys should
reset it.
reset it?
Yeah, go on, flip it over, and then just hit the reset button.
Yeah, something's wrong with this one. Anyways, it does work.
Oh, mine?
1.76 is this 0, so it's working on yours. And this one is negative 0.45. Did it work on yours?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, where is the portion of the graph that's less than, we actually 0, because we brought this 5 over. It's this portion right here. So it's between negative 0.45 and 1.76. Okay? Because what we did was we brought this over so we want to know what portion of the graph is below the x-axis. If I had written, if I had an equal to sign here, these would have been brackets. If it would have been a greater than sign, it would have been above. These would have been, it would have been negative infinity to this point, union 1.76 to infinity. So for this one, you're going to bring 4x, you're actually going to write 4, type in your calculator, so you're looking for the portion of the graph that's greater than or equal to 0. Did anyone type that in their calculator yet?
Hold on, I got this.
The answer is,
Letter equal to something? What's this syntax error? Hold. I have a graph, but I don't have the greater than or equal to.
You don't need that.
Oh, okay, deal.
You have a graph? Send me a
Yeah.
picture. Okay, here is the graph of x to the fourth plus 5x squared minus x to the third minus 2x. Now, since we brought everything over on one side, I need these two critical zeros. These are the critical numbers. And I'm looking for the portion of the graph that's greater than or equal to 0. So the two critical zeros, when you do menu, analyze graph, 0, you end up with these two important numbers, negative 0.58 and 0.65. So the portion of the graph that's greater than or equal to 0 is from negative infinity to negative 0.58, and then from 0.65 to positive infinity. And that is that answer.
Union.
Those are the.
Okay? Now, to receive the extra credit, you do need to fill in, you need to do 7, 8. You can copy your answers from 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12, but they're not on your exam. Good news.
Sweet.
Okay? I do want to go over what's on the exam for sub 3.1 to 3.3.
Okay, let's circle the numbers.
Okay? You do need to know question number 1. Question number 1. Do you remember this? I want you to type this in your calculator. 5x to the third plus 4x squared minus x plus 3. Type that into your calculator. Since my calculator's on the fritz, I'm going to use this one.
So do you winning with mine?
Oh, it's all right.
But this one's covered. You sure it's on yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's already done.
Just chilling. Just chilling, bro. Mine's red, yours is blue. Yours is
Okay, do you remember how to find the max and the min?
the menu. Enlarge. Your maximum. And then
The max and the min. How do you find the max and the min?
you just use menu, analyze graph, maximum.
Here.
There you go.
Okay, on your graph, you're gonna hit menu, analyze graph,
And then maximum.
and then max. So you're going to have to find the maximum. And for this one, what is the maximum?
6.8 something.
Yep. And you're gonna have to find the minimum. And you're going to have to find the inflection point. How do you find the inflection point?
Which one's
The inflection point is the point between the max and the min. How do you find the inflection point? You add the max and the min and you divide by 2.
Maximum.
Now, do you remember how to do the interval where it's increasing or decreasing?
Wait, what? Inflection, point, equal, max, plus min.
Now, I'm gonna stop here, because I'm running, the bell's gonna ring in a minute. I'm gonna finish this with second hour. So this will be second hour. I'll put this in second hour.
Okay.
But this stuff is, I just wanna
How
let
are
you
we
guys
gonna
know.
find this stuff on YouTube?
Yes, this will be on,
Is it in a whole separate folder, or is it just under,